Hey guys, Bluebridge here, and today I'm going to be talking about two of our one player and one in the coaching staff, both with motivational stories. So let's get into it. So hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about two people from the club. One's a player and the other one is from the background staff, but both of them have got that mentality, that mindset that hopefully would allow us to succeed in the future. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Estevao Willian'S, and our fan base a couple of days, 2 days ago when we came back from training, they were getting itchy feet and they're wondering what's going to happen to Estevao. Is he going to be sent out on loan? We haven't heard anything about him, and they're just so impatient. But we need to stay calm sometimes, guys, because at the end of the day, if they don't see someone from day one, they start to worry or start to panic or overthink things. Just wait. But some of us were thinking he's doing his PR duties, and we're waiting for that big reveal. But the reveal was a little bit of an anticlimax. It was just him walking and standing on some podium. Lasted 35 seconds, and that was it. But you know what? It was understated, but this guy, that's what he's about. He's not a showy guy. He's just about a teenager who wants to go about his business of playing football, enjoying the sport, and he's got that strong mentality. And that comes from he's come from humble background, and he's very down to earth guy, and he has a family who supports him, and I think his family has come over with him, and he's got a father who's made sure that he's stayed grounded. His father used to be a footballer himself before going into the ministry. He's now a pastor, and that's what I want to touch on as well, his Christian beliefs and his Christian faith, because as I said, with footballers, sometimes you see footballers with great ability, but they fall by the wayside because of their mentality and because of their lifestyle. But being from a Christian upbringing, he knows what's important in life, and he knows that he's going to not mess about, and he's going to take the sport seriously. So I can relate to him as well, sort of being a Christian myself, and the sort of diet he's going to have, and the fact that he doesn't drink as well, is going to help him stay fit and healthy, unless someone comes in with some rough and bad tackle, which I hope not. So I believe that he's going to succeed. A lot of people saying, he's not physical enough for the Premier League, but have you seen the Brazilian football? A lot of people don't watch Brazilian football for making a judgment. That is very physical, and we saw that in the World Club Cup, how physical they are. And the pace of the Premier League, it may take a little bit of time of getting used to, but the beauty of it is that because we've got a good squad now, we can bed him in. And from what I'm hearing in training, I've heard good reports about him, that he's impressed. There's three. They like the look of him, Gittins and Hato, but out of the three, he's the one who's impressed the most. And I hear that Maresca hopefully has got big plans for him. But as I said, we don't want to rush him in. There's no pressure to put him in straight away. But the fact is, if he comes in, he does well, then he earns the spot on merit. But as a 17-year-old in a new league, I expect him to probably play 30-40% of the games this season, and then gradually starts to play a bit more. But you never know. So if he's flying from the off and scoring and assisting, then it'll be hard for him to be left out of the team. And as I was talking about his Christian upbringings, there's two types of Brazilians that you see. You see the ones who've had that Christian upbringing, and you see the ones who are more into the party aspect. And if you contrast the two, if you look, we've already had the likes of Thiago Silva at our club. He's still playing at the age of 40. Why? Because he's looked after his body, he's looked after himself, and he hasn't not into that party lifestyle. So gets the right amount of rest, nutrition, etc. And his belief and his faith has carried him this far. And you saw that with the likes of your cars as well. Contrast that with, say, someone like an Adriana. Adriana is somebody who's finished football. Was he 26 when he finished football? And that's because of his partying lifestyle, and that ruined his career. And you saw that with Ronaldinho as well. Ronaldinho, he was 28, 29 before. He had a good few years, but he didn't carry on to his 30s. And again, that's because he loved the partying. And if you go, even if you take it for footballers who are not Brazilian, you saw Leslie King. Anyone who doesn't know who Leslie King is, just look him up and you'll see what I mean, because of his partying. He used to get injured a lot. He wasn't looking after his body. So, and another thing with Estevao, a lot of people just think that he's this, another kid from Brazil, not going to make it. I think he's a real deal. Everyone in Brazil is going mad over him. They think he's the best player to come out of there since Neymar, and so he's not like Lucas Piazon's or Wallace's guys. This guy, and I unless something really bad happens with an injury or something, I think that he's gonna kick for us. But as I said, with football, you just don't know. But because of his attitude and his ability, then I really do think that he will succeed at Chelsea. And the other guy I want to touch on, he's not a player, he's a what they call he's a cultural architect, and that's Willie Isa. We were laughed at when we got our motivational coach a couple of years ago. I can't remember, he's another New Zealander, but he didn't take off. But they brought in Willie Isa, who's from the rugby world, into the footballing world, and he does everything from one time he was even a bodyguard apparently for some of the players, but he's the mentality, you can see the mentality of the players have gone up, and he's one of the reasons why he does coordination work with the players before the game, and you can see how much it meant to the players of his input when we won the World Club Championship, how they sort of embraced him and gave him some of the credit for it. So as I said, some people were laughing at the fact that, what they're doing getting this guy, but it's worked. It seemed to have worked. So if you look at me and some others were a bit worried when we played against PSG, thinking we didn't have any chance. But when you saw the players talk in the pre-match interviews, they were going into that game with no fear. And if they can take this mentality into the Premier League for next season, then we never know. We could be in for I'm not going to whisper in it. We could be in for a challenge. I'm not getting carried away, by the way, but you never know what can happen. Winning mentality, that breeds success, and things can kick on from there. But it takes a lot of tangibles and included as well. So I'm not by no means getting carried away and saying that we are in a title league. I'm just hoping in the title race, but I'm hoping that if we're in a similar position as we were last season, then the team won't buckle over Christmas. We'll have that mental strength to push on and make a sustained challenge. So that's my two stories for today. As I said, two guys with great mentality, and I'm just hoping that they can both help us through to next season. So what do you think of the Estevao Willian'S unveiling? Are you excited that he's coming to the club? Do you think he's going to be a success? Put your comments in the section below. And do you know anything about him? Happy that he's there? Let me know again. So don't forget, as always, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every time I make a new video. So take care. Bye-bye.